What's up, everybody? So I wanted to give you a brief 30-minute look at this game that I just played through, Marvel's Midnight Suns. And we're just, as you can see, I've already played through this game once. We're just going to do a new game, and you can adjust it from a harder difficulty to an easier difficulty depending on your play style. Launch campaign. I did shorts on this game when it's been on sale before, but it's easy to look at this game and say, I want to play that, or no, I don't want to play that, just from a description of it. And I think that's one of the reasons why this game didn't do that well. Notice it got great critic reviews, but not too great user reviews. And there were a lot of reasons for that. It got released around a crowded game release schedule. Like, a lot of games were coming out at the time this did. It had a few bugs at launch, I believe. And this was made by the same people that made XCOM. So people were expecting a faster paced type game. But when they heard turn-based and card gameplay, they freaked. And it's a shame, because I feel like if people would have given this a chance, we would have gotten to Midnight Suns too. But alas. I personally love this game.
Nice show, Doc.
I played XCOM for a while and loved it. But I'm the type of gamer that if I play something too much and it gets repetitive, I get burned out on it and I quit. And that's what happened with XCOM for me. But this game, because this game has several different genres mixed in together, like, if you're the type of gamer that that gets burned out on one type of gameplay, if you stay invested for too long, you will not have a problem with that with this game. It has tactical turn-based card combat. It has a social simulation aspect to it, to where you'll try to befriend the heroes, and the higher you get in the hero's friendship, the more it can benefit you in battle. There's an adventure part to this game where you can go around your main HQ and discover mysteries. You can walk around the grounds, gather herbs to help you later brew up potions and cards to help you in battle.
I can feel it, Rox.
So there's a lot of different elements to this game.
More innocent blood joining you soon.
And I kind of like games that think outside the box.
Head back to your magic castle. You ain't welcome here.
And this game definitely qualifies. Definitely is a unique game by far. And taking nothing away from this guy that voiced Johnny Blaze, but how awesome would it have been if Johnny Blaze himself actually voiced this, if Sam Elliott actually voiced this character? Because during this little exchange here, they make a Double Deuce reference.
Tell fate.
And of course, Double Deuce was the bar during Roadhouse that Patrick Swayze and Sam Elliott both starred in.
Brash, but I assure you, he can be trusted.
Wait.
So,
you seriously don't know who I am?
Coincidence? I think not.
Of magic is shifting, John.
We're going to actually skip through this because I want to show off a lot of gameplay for this.
And the old man runs off with that precious page of yours.
Now you have three different types of cards. You have attacks, skills, and heroics. Playing a card will cost one card play. You get 3 card plays per turn. There's ways you can increase that as you play.
Thought you said time was the one thing.
All attacks will grant you some heroism.
All right, let's just wrap this up.
You'll notice some attacks do added stuff like knockback and stun. And the sword icon in the top left-hand corner will show the damage that card will do. When you highlight the particular card and highlight an enemy, if it has a skull icon right above it, that means it will kill that enemy. And you won't have to worry about retaliation on the next turn. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Boom.
Hey, it worked, didn't it?
So now, it's kind of darkened, but you notice that there is a 1 on the heroism wheel in the bottom right-hand corner. So we're going to use this other blast to take out this one.
Let's do it. It was nothing. Am I really gonna have to bring out the big guns for this?
Yeah, baby. Now, we have 2 heroism built up to where we can activate air superiority. Now, when you play the actual game, the air superiority will have a much higher heroism cost, and the damage will be a lot greater. This is just for this tutorial. So we're going to activate this card, and as you can see, when highlighted, it'll clearly show wiping out both of these guys.
I'm saving my energy so we need it. Whatever gets the job done.
And that will end our turn. So we're going to hit the down directional button to end our turn.
Sure, just keep throwing bodies at the problem. See you brought some friends along.
Now we have 2 different types of enemies. We have minions and we have elites. Minions will not show any health above them, in which case they are a lot easier to kill. Elites will have much higher damage and health. So don't waste a heroic card on a minion. Make sure you use it for elites. Now, Doctor Strange has a knockback card, which we can use to knock enemies into each other. So we're going to use his knockback card to knock him into this elite. Or actually, let's instead... We're actually going to use it to knock this one into each other, because we'll take out a minion and we'll knock out one of the elites down to half health. Now, where this character is positioned on the screen will determine his knockback radius, because as you can see, he's very limited on his window. But later in the game, you can acquire moves to help him move around the board to where you can get enemies at better angles.
Let's give it a go.
So now this sets up the elite for the blast card, in which we can take him out and acquire 1 more heroism for the next card in our rotation.
Getting it done any way we know how. What'd you expect?
So now we have 2 heroism, and which is 15 damage. It would be a waste to do it on the minion, because he has no health. But the elite has 10 health and will hit for much higher damage. So it makes sense to use it on the elite. Ah! Added sound effect. I knew you'd like it. Sounds like he has a case of the trots, doesn't it? But anyway, so now we have just 1 minion left. No more cards to play, so we're going to end our turn. Iron Man got hit for 2 damage. Reinforcements.
Confidence is high.
So now you notice that
perhaps a blessing is in order.
all these heroes will be targeting Doctor Strange, as you can tell by the circle icon above each one of their heads.
In the spirit of cooperation,
So,
I'll accept
to help
that.
Doctor Strange out, we have the ability to give Doctor Strange 20 block to help with that.
Looks like we could use this.
Greatly appreciated.
So now we have 2 winds of Watum that we can use. So we're going to knock these 2 together.
By the will of your God.
So that took care of a minion and knocked one of the elites down to half health. So we could knock him into that wall there. Notice that if I just use the knockback straight, it'll just knock him straight back with no damage. But if I swerve it to the right, he'll make contact with that rock and sustain damage. So keep that in mind when you're using the knockback. We're actually going to use this to take out this elite completely. So he'll be out of play.
I know that wasn't your signature move.
So now we have an elite and a minion left, and that will end our turn. Notice that the block is keeping Doctor Strange from taking any more damage.
Everything according
Alright.
to plan.
Now,
Pissed them off.
his air superiority will do 5 damage. Notice that each of these are 10.
Change the very demeanor of
So
our
we
enemies.
need to
Something
diminish
along the
all
lines
of their
the
health
psionic
to set up
manipulations of
for
Eros of Titan?
You can't make it happen in the next
for
10
his
seconds,
air
I'm not
superiority. So we're going to use Winds of Watum to knock these two into each other.
Prepare yourselves.
interested. Fair enough.
And then we have a blast that we really don't have to worry about hitting him with anything because we're going to use air superiority, which will hit everybody on the screen and immediately take out. He'll immediately get killed since he don't have any health. He will have half health. So we're going to take him out.
That's the spirit.
So now we're going to use Iron Man's air superiority and clean house. You'll also have sub-bosses to deal with later, but once you defeat some of the sub-bosses, they'll come over to your side and you'll be able to use their powers.
Tactic.
Now we start getting into environmental attacks,
And while you ponder arrows, maybe
and
you
pay
should
careful
try to
attention
rock at him?
what environmental attacks are on your map because they can really turn the tide of the battle in your favor. This particular environmental attack is a boulder. It will cost 1 heroism, but it will take 10 damage away, killing this guy instantly. So we're going to briefly show that in action. So that immediately KOs him. Now we just have 1 enemy left over here. Ow, says Iron Man. Of course, we got a few more.
Ready when you are, boss.
So
I think that's the last of them, which is good.
So since this guy is already down to half health and these two are minions, you can actually play the air superiority card and wipe out everybody because we still have enough heroism left to do that.
I don't do this for just anyone.
Boom!
Impressive.
Most impressive. I should have did that in my Vader voice. Most impressive.
Never surrender.
So we're going to fast travel to the Doctor Strange's mission, where we're in the Sanctum's,
Always the direct
where we're in the Doctor Strange's Sanctum
Crib.
crib.
Besides,
And now we have an added character that we get to play as, Captain Marvel, who has a lot of cool abilities, who's kind of more like a tank character than anything,
Yes, but not
which you will
one of
discover
them
as you
who
play.
knows the front door.
Now, to start,
we're
We're going to use his Winds of Watum to kind of crash these two together.
A moment of preparation. It's in your best interest to quit now.
Now, this environmental attack will take out this enemy, but if you think you may get a chance to take out an elite, you may want to save that environmental attack for later in the game. So just something to think about as you play. But we're just going to use Iron Man's card to take him out, and then that way we'll have 1 attacking Doctor Strange and 1 attacking Iron Man.
Here we go.
And saving your game at the start of the battle is really handy for if you goof up and you're not too far into the battle, you can reload the game and restart the battle completely. Now here's where it talks about redraws. Notice that we have 2 heroism, but we have the only card that we have available is a 3 heroism power. So you get like 2 redraws per game or per battle. And you have ways of increasing that as you play the game as well. But we're going to redraw that card and see if we get something better. In which case we got a jab from Captain Marvel, so we're going to use that.
One more time.
Boom.
That was really something.
So that will end our turn with 3 heroism. And Doctor Strange still had a little bit of block from the previous battle.
Support units on the move.
So now it's going to talk about a different type of environmental attack that can hit more than one enemy if you find a bunch of them bunched together. So we're going to... And here's something I forgot to mention. You can use L1 and R1 to switch between the heroes if you want to, or the enemies. I just use the cursor to move around, but whichever way you want to play. And also, when you move one of your characters, make sure that his icon is highlighted in white because it's very easy to move the wrong person. So notice that make sure that his icon is lit up. And we're going to move it. And if you move him over here and you realize that he's not in a position to hit anybody, you can move him a little bit more to the left or the right, just as long as you haven't initiated an attack yet. So you have plenty of time to get your attack lined up just right if you want, if you have to. Notice if we use this, it will cost 2 heroism, but we'll be able to take both of these out at the same time. And it's good to kind of go all the way from one arc to the next because you can ricochet one of these into that guy on the right. You can't always, but sometimes you can.
This shouldn't take long.
Up to 5 cards will be drawn to fill your hand at the start of each turn. There's ways you can increase that too as you play.
But Davenport was at least a century old. What a waste.
So now, we're going to knock these two into each other.
Let me show you the way.
Noggin knocker!
So that's how that works. Seems like it'd be cheaper just to replace you guys with robots. I bet Tony would cut Faustus a deal.
So we're going to go ahead and do Agamotto's Gaze because it will draw the last 2 attack cards and start us off with 4 card plays next turn and give us an added 2 to our heroism.
Watch and learn.
You'll notice Doctor Strange has a lot of cool cards like this as you play.
What this battle requires.
So now we're going to end our turn.
Ground. Arm beta moving into position.
It will take more than that, I'm afraid.
How do these guys just keep showing up?
Since we have 2 of the same card here, we're going to try to redraw one of these and see if we can get something better. Ooh! Her photon beam is really powerful. You want to try to line it up to where you can do the most damage. However, that can be a little tricky. Let's see. I think if we line it up right here, I think we can knock 3 of them out in one hit, I think. Yes. So we'll be able to take out all 3 in one hit right here. So now, before you move your character like this, it's a good idea to save your game. That way, if you put him in a bad angle to where it doesn't work out, you can just reload it and move him to a different spot. So before you move your character, it's a good idea to save your game just in case. Just in case you mess up.
I know that wasn't your signature move.
So we can... let's see.
Ready up. There's no way Hydra's medical plan can cover the beating we're about to put on you.
I heard Lilith is kind of hot. Any of you dorks make a move yet?
Now, make sure when you use a knock, if you have a knockback, and this just doubles the heroism, of course. So another handy, useful card if you need it. We're not really going to use it right now, but make sure the knockback actually hits something so you do damage to that character.
Watch closely.
Fair enough.
So that will end our turn.
Regroup at position Tango.
That there Tango!
You'll need
So we're going to finish it up with Doctor Strange's heroic move. His heroic trots card. You'll have sub-bosses to deal with later as well, and once you take some of them out, some of them will come over to your side, so you'll be able to use some of their abilities in battle as well. So that will end this particular scenario. Now we're going to fast forward to the Abbey, which is where you create your hunter character that you play for the remainder of the game. And you can customize your character. You can make him male or female. Both actors did an amazing job with the voice acting. However, I read stuff that the female voice actor is a little bit better at pulling you in with her performance. And after playing through with her, I definitely agree. So we played her. And you can adjust the hair color, the eyes, facial hair. Give her female facial hair if you want to. Can also change the eye color, skin tone, but we're going to go basic here. Now you'll strike conversations with the heroes as you play the game.
Half human, half demon monster hunter.
Now each of these choices, some will be a +1 to light, some will be a +1 to dark, some won't do anything. So before you start conversations, if you want to, you can kind of play around with what dialogues will give heroism, what will do dark. If you want to be a one particular alignment, or you can just wing it and just choose whichever alignment you're stuck with, that's what you get. Whichever way you want to play.
You
Heard my
We're just going to skip through this. But like you can, your dialogue choices will give you friendship points too. They can. So it's a good idea to try to build friendship up with your heroes because that will really help you in battle. And it will unlock passives abilities that will help them every time you use them in battle, and it will unlock better cards as well.
Did I miss something? Or
Hunter. No. There isn't time for
This here is the mirror table where you will select your missions.
prophecies be damned. It's good to see
Language!
you again. You look like it was yet.
Usually have more missions to choose from, but for just now, we just have one to choose from.
With everything going on right now, we simply
This next
can't
mission, we're going to have the
lose
Hunter,
contact with the Senate
Doctor Strange,
for
and a new character, Blade.
Crazy.
Now, if you manage to build friendships levels with your heroes, you'll have combo cards at the start of the missions. These will deal high damage to characters, so that's why building friendships in the game is really important. You'll also unlock combat items, which are free items that you can use at any point in the game, which can do a multitude of different things. So those are two very important things to focus on early. We're going to talk with Doctor Strange here real quick.
Is that
Always pay attention when you can talk with a character, because it is a chance to build friendship and light or dark affinity points.
Indeed.
And that heart means that you gained one friendship point with that character.
We should hurry.
During conversations, for the most part, per exchange, you'll just get an option that will give you a +1 or a +2 to their friendship. Every once in a while, you'll get a chance for more, though. Okay, I was going to show you something real quick, but we'll skip that for now. Time for Limbo!
About time.
You are standing in limbo.
From here, magic can open.
How low can you go?
On our planet and beyond. We don't want to risk punching through the wards protecting.
Now, enemies will have quick cards. I may or may not get any here, but if you use those cards to... Okay, yes, I did. On KO, you can get a card play refunded if you can kill them with that card. It doesn't matter if it's an elite, or if it's a minion or an elite with just 5 damage left. So I'm going to use a little strategy here. I'm going to use this quick slash card to take out this minion. So instant card play refunded. And I'm going to use another one. Let's see. Do I have another minion? Yes, I do.
Weak, even for Hydra.
So now I've got Agamotto's Gaze, which draws the last 2 attack cards played, and the next turn I'll have 4 card plays instead of 3. This is how one example of how I can have more card plays than just 3. And I'll get 2 heroism in addition to this. You can also upgrade all your cards back at the Abbey after missions. So notice I got both of them back. Now, let's see. And I'm going to have to waste a move to do it, but if I position... Keep in mind where your characters are at the start of the battle, because these podiums right here can be very useful to you. Notice it costs 1 heroism, but it costs 15 damage if an enemy is in the cone. And this will get stronger. There's ways you can strengthen this when you're back at the Abbey. I'm going to move Blade over a little bit just so I can show it in action. And like I said, it's just one time per battle. You'll see it destroyed as he leaps off of it. Another environmental attack that I want to show off is the electrical boxes. If you have a knockback, which Doctor Strange has here, you can knock him into it and take him out of the next turn. So now when it's time for the enemies to retaliate, he'll be knocked out of the turn completely. Unless he gets hit for damage before the next turn. Now Blade has I have enough to summon like a 3 heroism ability, which is a lifesteal. If Blade has suffered any damage up until this point, he can use this to regain health. So he'll be able to use this to knock this guy almost to death. Now I went after this guy first because he has the most health and he can cause you the most problems. So pay attention to which enemies do what. And we can actually use this block right here to knock him out completely.
It's on.
So that wraps it up for this. I wanted to show enough of this to give you an idea about this game. I hope you've seen enough to know how cool this game is. I can't recommend this game enough. Give it a try, and that's all there is to it. I will see you next time.